Hey YouTube, this is Vid Guy. Just wanted to get a quick comment in on the news about this possible terrorist attack. It's looking more and more like it was actually a botched attempt to bring this plane down on Christmas over in Detroit. And you know, there's some things that we as Americans need to start thinking about. First of all, you know, we hear the Bush administration and now the Obama administration talk about the fact that, you know, Islam is a religion of peace. Well, it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, if you do any research at all and look into the tenets of Islam, sure, it's peaceful when it is in complete control, when it rules, you know, the country that you live in or whatever it may be. But if it's not, if Sharia law is not in place within that country, then to them it's considered wide open. It's considered them, you know, an opportunity to be conquered. There's two houses in Islam. There's what they call Dar al-Islam, which is the House of Islam, which pretty much is everything that falls under their control. Wherever it is in the world, it doesn't matter. Countries don't matter. Nationalities don't matter. If it's Islamic in nature, it's considered Dar al-Islam. If it is not, and if it's not under control, then it's called Dar al-Harb, and that is the House of War. These are basically no man's lands. These are places where warriors, Islamic extremists, like the ones that we see with Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations, are free to wage jihad. I mean, that's a basic fact. That's something that they're allowed to do, that their clerics, their imams, give them permission to do. The things that we need to start thinking about, we seriously need to start thinking about how we're going to combat this threat. Are we going to allow our freedoms to be taken? Are we going to allow you know, ourselves to basically live under a cloud of fear? Or are we going to take this fight to the enemy? I mean, the fact of the matter is, you know, we should be profiling people. I mean, let's face it. You know, there are people out there that want to do bad things to us, and they continue to want to do bad things to us. And guess what? Most of them all have one thing in common. They're all Islamic. They're all people that ascribe to the religion of Islam. Now, I'm not saying that all Muslims are bad people, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, I know some, and some live in peace, and some, you know, go about their daily duties as American citizens, and they go to work, and, you know, they do what they need to do, and they never bother anybody. But there's a radical movement out there. There's a sect within their religion that, quite frankly, they're not doing anything about. They're not doing anything to get them out of their religion, and they're not doing anything to comment about what they're doing. Matter of fact, they've been extremely silent about the whole matter. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes them accessories after the fact. If they want this to go away, if they want this quote-unquote persecution of their faith to go away, then they need to do something about it. Now, what you're going to see because of this latest terrorist attack is you're going to see the American government, and you're already starting to see it, is going to impose harsher regulations on us, the American people. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this idiot that tried to take down this plane boarded this plane in another country. He boarded this plane overseas, and his final destination was Detroit, but he never went through a TSA security checkpoint. So all of a sudden, we're talking about full body scanners. We're talking about all this stuff. But guess what? That wouldn't have done any good. He boarded in Amsterdam. Maybe we need to talk to you know, the people in Amsterdam and say, hey, this is what you need to do. He didn't board here. There wasn't any problems with the stuff that happened here. And quite frankly, the passengers took care of it, because that's what's going to happen from now on because of 9/11. Look, we need to get real serious about this threat. If you want to know more, obviously, you can study the Quran. There's plenty of books out there. A good book to look into this particular sect of Islam, which is called Wahhabism, a very fundamentalist type of Islamic faith, is a book called The Looming Tower by Lawrence Wright. This is a book that basically traces the evolution from its birth and its modern father of Wahhabism in Sayyid Qutb, who actually studied here in America, in Denver, for quite a while, and then became radicalized. I'm tired of people taking my freedoms and my liberty because we refuse to acknowledge that we are indeed at war. It matters not whether we think we're at war with them. The fact of the matter is, they're at war with us. And that's the way it's going to stay until we fight back. We are in a war. There are going to be casualties. And we need to take this fight to the enemy. At least that's what I think. Anyway, until next time, keep your powder dry. Keep a copy of your Constitution in your pocket. Long live the United States.